A very good afternoon, good morning to all our viewers and listeners. We are back again with another fresh episode of Hello Kolkata, a Kolkata Calling podcast series. We have been a bit irregular, so forgive us for that. We have been caught up with other commitments elsewhere, but we have nonetheless tried to bring you all the positive news from Kolkata in between. We are doing our podcast after a few weeks, and today we are extremely proud and honored to have two guests who will be talking about their venture, their company, and it's got a very special Kolkata connection. So we are very excited to listen to both of them, and I'll be introducing our guests very shortly. Before I do that, quite the update is very, very important for me to share. The first one is obviously we were quite unhappy. A lot of us were unhappy that কলকাতা ট্রাম বন্ধ হয়ে যাবে এরকম একটা খবর এসেছে, and we have a lot of nostalgia memories linked with it. So we had mixed reactions to that. It has been a part of our history, culture, heritage. But as the old order changes, right, and new takes place, we also got some very, very positive news and uplifting news for the entire Kolkata and Bengal ecosystem. Recently, the Prime Minister announced the launch of a new semiconductor fabrication plant called Shakti in Kolkata. This was part of the PM's visit to United States. আমরা সবাই জানি ইউনাইটেড স্টেটস পিএম এবং তার পুরো কন্টিনজেন্ট গেছে ইউনাইটেড নেশনসের জেনারেল অ্যাসেম্বলি একটা সেশন চলছে সেখানে অবভিয়াসলি ইউ হ্যাভ বিন ফলোইং দ্যাট নিউজ তার আগে দ্য পিএম অ্যানাউন্স ফার্স্ট দ্য সেমিকন্ডাক্টর ফ্যাব্রিকেশন প্লান্ট অনেকের কাছে এই খবরটা যাওয়া দরকার কারণ আমরা অনেকদিন ধরে শুনছিলাম যে সেমিকন্ডাক্টর রেসে হয়তো বেঙ্গল কলকাতা পিছিয়ে পড়ছে বাট দিস প্রুভস আদারওয়াইজ উই আর এক্সট্রিমলি হ্যাপি টু hear this announcement. So that's one. Second, we also got another big update that there are three new supercomputers or Param supercomputers, Param Rudra supercomputers that have been, sanctioned by the government as part of the National Supercomputing Mission. তার এই তিনটে সুপারকম্পিউটারের মধ্যে one of them will be at SN Bose Research Center in Kolkata. So that is again a big news in terms of supercomputers, quantum computing, সেগুলো যে স্টেট অফ দি আর্ট একদম ফ্রন্টিয়ার্স অফ কম্পিউটিং এর যে টেকনোলজি ইনফ্রাস্ট্রাকচার সেখানে আমরা হয়তো লাস্ট কিছু বছরের পিছনে ছিলাম বাট with the advent of all of this with this supercomputer we definitely will make a big change in Kolkata and Bengal. So many congratulations to SN Bose Institute. এছাড়াও টেকনোলজি নিয়ে যখন আমরা কথা বলছি and this will be a nice segue I promise to our two guests. We also have news for an underwater cable landing station through Reliance Jio that will be set up in Digha, Purbo Medinipur. And what it aims to do is bring better connectivity, high internet speed, reliability, low latency. যে আমাদের browser load করতে যে time লাগে কারণ the signals are bouncing all over the world. But having your own cable landing station right here in Digha will improve connectivity, which means companies will have better productivity, better connectivity with the rest of the world. So you can be based in Kolkata and work with customers and partners all over the world. So this is a 1,000 crore project with Reliance Jio, and we welcome this move. So many congratulations to everybody involved. With that little bit of segue, now talking about technology, in the very heart of Kolkata, we have a fantastic R&D center that has been set up recently. This is from TuTeck Technologies, and we have two very important guests and I would say members of this organization. One, we have Samantak Panda, or Sam in short. Sam is the founder and CEO of TuTeck Technologies, and with him we have Soumya Dasgupta, Senior Vice President of TuTeck Technologies, joining us today. তাদের আমি এখানে মেইন স্ক্রিনে অ্যাড করার আগে জাস্ট একটা একটু ইন্ট্রোডাকশন দিই দুজনের ব্যাপারে। Sam, as I mentioned, is the founder and CEO with more than 2 decades of experience in consulting and project management across some very specific areas of data, cloud, AI, ML domains, working with different industries throughout his career. And TuTeck Technologies was founded with a mission to democratize data knowledge and help that for to bring competitive advantage and benefits, monetary benefits for their customers through cloud computing, AI, ML, data and advanced analytics. এছাড়াও স্যামের একটা ব্রেন চাইল্ড বলবো বা নিজের একটা project যেটা has taken shape is also the world's first learning marketplace called EdukkaSEN, which is for people with learning disabilities like autism, dyslexia, cerebral palsy, and using AI and ML to make a very inclusive learning platform for people with certain learning disabilities. We are extremely happy to hear such a product that is out there. And before starting TuTeck Technologies and before turning entrepreneur, Sam has worked with IT giants such as TCS, Infosys, Cognizant, and also product companies like ServiceNow. Uh, Introduction about Shomoda, with over 25 years of experience in IT services, with the majority of it in Cognizant and LTI Mindtree. He's played both technology and delivery leadership roles at Cognizant and LTI Mindtree. He's been a technology practice lead, a delivery head for life sciences for global markets, also delivery head for banking and financial services for data analytics. He's well regarded and acknowledged as a technology leader globally in the master data management space, MDM যেটা আমরা বলি. And he joined Sam in 2023 and leads key responsibilities in building technology, delivery teams, and heading the global delivery services. Shomoda also leads the business strategies for TuTeck along with Sam, and they have been instrumental in bringing more revenues, large customer deals for this company. টুটেকের ব্যাপারে একটু বলে আমি তারপরে স্যাম আর সমুদাকে হ্যান্ড ওভার করে দেবো টু টক মোর অ্যাবাউট দ্য কোম্পানি, অ্যাবাউট দ্য পার্সোনাল জার্নিজ. TuTeck is a next generation global technology company that helps enterprises redefine their businesses through data and digital transformation with the latest technology যেগুলো আমি বললাম. এর মধ্যে some of the services that they are offering are data and analytics, digital engineering, and CRM solutions. They have an ERP product, they have a learning product, and TuTeck has offices in London, Kolkata, and Delaware. And we are extremely proud to have Kolkata as in the mix as well. আরেকটা important জিনিস, TuTecker EdukkaSEN যেটা আমি একটু আগেই বললাম, the learning platform for people with learning disabilities, won the Innovative EdTech of the Year in 2021 in London from the London School of Digital Businesses. So fantastic achievement শুরু থেকেই. So let me add both Sam and Shomoda to the mix. Hi Sam, hi Shomoda, warm welcome. Warm welcome to Kolkata Calling. Thank you so much. I know Sam, you are in UK, Shomoda, you are in India. তাই আমাদের একটু টাইম জোনটা কোঅর্ডিনেটের জন্য আমরা আজকে একটার সময় এটা রেখেছি। হোপফুলি আমরা লোকেদের সানডে লাঞ্চ টাইমে ইনক্লুড করব না। মেনি থ্যাংক ইউ ফর জয়নিং আস টুডে। আমি হয়তো টুটেকের ব্যাপারে খুব ভালো করে ইন্ট্রোডিউস করতে পারিনি, আমি আপনাদের জনের কাছ থেকে টুটেকের ব্যাপারে শুনবো, কিন্তু সেটাতে ঢোকার আগে যদি আপনাদের একটু ইন্ডিভিজুয়াল জার্নিসগুলো বলেন, মানে লিটল অ্যাবাউট ইয়োর আর্লি ডেজ, লিটল বিট অ্যাবাউট ইয়োর আর্লি ক্যারিয়ার্স বিফোর টুটেক, সেটা যদি আমরা শুরু করি। লেটস স্যাম, আপনাকে দিয়ে শুরু করা যাক।
Sure. I mean, I was born and brought up in a small town called Chinsura, which is almost 70 kilometers away from Kolkata. And did my graduation from one of the private engineering colleges under WPUT, now known as Macau, right? And in electronics and communication. Then started my career with TCS, and again changed a few times with large IT companies like Infosys, Cognizant, and then worked for product companies like ServiceNow. So primarily, technology lover, you can say. I keep on exploring new technologies, and that's my passion. Apart from technology, I love sports, music, and cooking is another one, and painting as well. So kind of spend my times in all these different stuffs apart from work and technology. I'll keep it short and probably show more.
Thank you. Shomoda, over to you.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for providing us this opportunity.
Thank you.
So just a brief about myself. I was born in Calcutta, in South Calcutta, in Jodhpur Park, and I happen to still stay in that house. Okay, I did my schooling in South Point High School, and then I moved to Jadavpur University to do my BTech. Apart from that, in terms of my interests, it's primarily I'm a avid listener of music and sports buff, and specifically, I do a lot of things on cricket in the sense local Kolkata club cricket. So I run a Facebook forum with a former player and coach Abdul Munaim, where we speak about Kolkata club cricket, Ranji Trophy cricket, and all of that. Right. So that forum has more than 60,000 members. So yeah, and love working with people. I think I'm a very people-centric person. So yeah, I'll also keep it short. Yeah.
Thank you both, Soumya and Sam. So I'm also curious because both of you have a lot of experience before TuTeck, right? And in IT companies, some global giants. Very curious how that uh, part of your careers were, and I believe you also have overlaps with each other. You worked in organizations together. That's how the introduction and the friendship, the partnership started. So if you can tell me a little bit about how that came about.
Yeah. So I mean, when I was in Cognizant, and Shomo used to be my senior and a mentor,
Veteran. So Shomida was a veteran in Cognizant.
yes, of course,
Yeah.
and I was coming from application architecture and developing digital applications altogether from beginning of my career. When I started my data journey, so Shomo had been my mentor, so, and he kind of inspired me to join the data and I had no clue what this data is, because all of my world was around applications and building solutions around applications. So he kind of opened up the door for me, and data is a huge world now. I mean, almost 15 years I'm with the data and loving the journey of data and analytics, right? That's how I think he had played a critical and crucial role in my career as well, to route to the I can say uh, right direction, which is data centric direction, right? So uh, this journey of data, and then thinking around the data, right, all along our journey, right, in our real life also. So I always try to relate to real world problem with data and then analytics, and then how we can solve those problems using our tools and technologies. And that's what we have been doing, and providing customers those solutions, and solving their problems as well, with backed by data and analytics.
Shomoda, your journey with these technology giants and also coming in contact with Sam Vidikubala.
Sure. So I'm pretty much, as you have seen, right? I've spent 19 years in Cognizant. So
Hmm.
I'm hugely indebted to Cognizant for shaping up my career. I think it is a great place to work. And if you have followed Cognizant's growth, right, it's
Hmm.
quite phenomenal till 2016, 2017. So, and Cognizant had a culture of empowering leaders, leaders within the company. It was like they were running their own enterprise. So I'm very much that is in my veins, I would say. And which the culture which we are trying to build, right, and Sam will talk about it later. Like, we are pretty much trying to take the very good things which we have learned from there, and Sam has other experiences. Unfortunately, I don't have too much of an experience other than Cognizant. Yes, I spent I think close to 18 months in LTI Mindtree as well, which was also a good learning experience. And yeah, I've come to TuTeck. I think it's been 18 months. And uh, uh, the interesting part is, like, I didn't have any clue that I will be joining TuTeck, even uh, like, I joined in May, and I think
Hmm.
even in the month of late March, till late March, I didn't have any clue. So, but I knew that Sam had set up this company, and
Hmm.
we used to talk. And how I got introduced to Sam, right? So, essentially, as leaders, we have to have eye for talents, right? So,
Hmm.
he used to work for an account where my teams were also working, right? So I used to hear a lot about him, right? So then I kind of fought with his, not fought, it's like, these things happen, right? Convinced
Hmm.
his business leader that I need this guy. Okay,
Hmm.
so I think he can play a huge role in data, and that's how we got connected. And it was I was very happy and quite privileged also when a young CEO like him, right? He approached me and saying that why don't you join us, and
Hmm.
let's try to build something together. I didn't ask him too many questions actually. That
Hmm.
what is your pipeline? What revenue do you have? Who are your investors? So I knew that he didn't have any investor. So and in Cognizant, I had built practices from scratch. Okay, although I worked,
Hmm.
and then took them to 200 300 million portfolios. But what I was missing in the later part of my career, right? So I was getting kingdoms to manage.
Hmm.
So the thing which excited me that this will probably give me an opportunity to go back to my 2005, 2006, 2004 days to build
Hmm.
something from scratch. Nothing more. It's not that I had a lot of vision and I didn't think, and
Hmm.
just decided to join. That's it. And we thought that we'll give it a shot for a year and a half, right? And with our experiences and the relationships which we have built over the years, right? I think that's very important. And with that, we'll possibly get business. I mean, we can't get business by relationships, but what we can get is the foot on the door, and then
Yeah.
we have to establish our credibility. And about Sam, right, such an enterprising CEO, a young
Hmm.
CEO, and if you have looked around the globe now, Cognizant has become a CEO producing factory, I think. And Sam is probably the youngest, because I know many of them who were my leaders, right? So
Hmm.
yeah.
No, wonderful to know that. And Shomoda, I think what you mentioned about the challenge of building a business from ground up is what excited you on this journey with Sam together. I'm also curious, and this is to both Sam and Shomo in whichever order you want to take it. Uh, 15 years ago, students graduating from engineering, landing jobs in TCS, Infosys, Cognizant, but and sometimes mostly going out of Kolkata, sometimes going on on-site projects. But there's always been this complaint that the quality of work that they used to get in projects was not great. But what I heard from both of you was that you were doing work in more advanced fields, which had not even become mainstream at that time in the industry, at least not in India. So these advanced fields, and that is how probably both of you sought each other out, found each other. Can you tell us a little bit that for young professionals, how do you get to those kind of skill domains? How do you get to those advanced projects rather than doing the repetitive work which a lot of folks in IT complain about? So how did that come about even 10-15 years ago?
Okay. So I'll probably so. There are certain things that you have to get the right opportunity at the right time. That also matters, right? So
Hmm.
for me, I got to build obviously along with my peers and leaders, right? uh, Master data management practice when this term master data management was not there.
Hmm.
So that obviously and that we started from Kolkata actually. Okay, that practice and that practice leadership remained in Kolkata. So for so essentially my teams have always got the opportunity to work on uh, niche technologies, and the technologies which were niche 10 years ago don't remain niche
Yeah.
after that, right? So and obviously being in the data analytics field has helped. But having said that, uh, the long term annuity business, obviously the companies get a lot of value from that, and I
Hmm.
have seen people who enjoy doing that as well. So to
Sure.
me, all kind of work is important, and
Hmm.
we shouldn't disregard anything. It's but and you will find people who like doing, because individuals are very different.
Sure.
And it's not that in the annuity projects, where obviously majority of the people would not want to work on that, but I've seen people working, and trust me, they are extremely mission critical
Sure.
programs where
Hmm.
slippage of a few seconds can cost say a large bank multi-million dollars. So you have to be
Hmm.
airtight when you're doing those
Yeah.
kind of programs. So I would not devalue them. It's
Hmm.
just about putting the right people in the right place.
Sure.
I
Sam.
kind of, second Shama on that. And I mean, being whenever we start our journey with any IT or product companies of IT, right? Uh, Whenever we get an opportunity to work on any of the segment of SDLC life cycle, I
Hmm.
would take that as an opportunity. And in my whole career, I mean, I have never hesitated to switch between any of the domains, being it a requirement analysis, being it a design, development, support. Every part of ISDLC, you take out one, you cannot really deliver a quality, output to the customers. So
Sure.
each and every segment is equally important for me, right? You cannot really live without any one of them. So as Somu said, I mean, it's again, you can try all the waters, and you
Hmm.
can choose to stick to one of them, in your later part of the career. But it's worth giving a try. And whenever getting an opportunity, and the mindset of openness, right, to actually accept challenges. I mean, those things are sometimes challenge for different people, because my mindset is very much development focused mindset. I fear that I may not be able to accept the challenge of a testing, because I don't
Hmm.
probably have the right eye to detect what is defect, what is not right. Right.
Yeah.
So this is important to accept the challenges and explore yourself. I mean, explore basically what is your capability, unearth
Hmm.
that. I mean, until unless you explore, you really won't be able to judge that you are also capable of doing much beyond than what you believe that you can do. And as rightly my example, right, I never thought I'll be in data. So
Hmm.
Shomo kind of, we had a, I think, 1 or 2 hour workshop kind of discussion, and he explained me the future of data and then master data, and those things I had no clue at all. I gave
Hmm.
it a try, and here I am, right, with all my journey with
Hmm.
data and other stuffs I have explored. I mean, during whole this journey, when I mean the only one, I don't know whether it's a positive or negative, right? So when I failed, I'm very I'm in a comfortable stage, or comfort zone, we call it, right, in our
Hmm.
regular IT
Yeah.
world. So that's a discomfort for me. I
Hmm.
never been very comfortable when I feel that I'm in a comfort zone. And every
Hmm.
switch of my career had been triggered, the main reason was a comfort zone, because I
Hmm.
always fear that am I learning enough or exploring enough? Because 3 years, 4 years, I have learned probably similar type of technologies, or leading the team in a similar pattern. Right? Can I
Hmm.
not try something else? So that's where always triggered my passion to explore something new and something more. And I kept on exploring new things
So,
in new cities also, and technology as well.
so I'll just add a point here. In fact, couple of
Sure.
points which Sam was mentioning. So he mentioned about testing, right? So that's another area where people say that we don't like to do testing. So
Hmm.
the basic mindset of a developer and tester would be very different. I mean, if
Hmm.
I go to hire a tester, developer, I see who can build things for me. Testers, I see who can break things, who will not trust anything and break things. And the other point which I wanted to just highlight, like Sam was mentioning, right? He has always explored new companies, new geographies, always trying to do. So my personality has been a little bit different, and that's why I feel we complement each other well. Because if you look at my journey, I've worked in a company for 19 years. Obviously, I've learned a lot there, right? Again, I've traveled around the globe, but Kolkata has been very, very close to my heart. I'm not saying people who don't stay in Kolkata is not close to their heart, but I kind of decided, boss, I'm going to stay in this city. So I'm
Hmm.
going to make my role in such a way that people will ask me to travel, come back, and again operate from here. And at
Hmm.
the same time, expand to other. cities in India, because as I said, right? So we were a practice which was based out of Kolkata, and then we moved to other locations. Pretty much the model which we also want to emulate here, right? And that
Hmm.
at times it's customer driven. So in
Yeah.
2009, I had to set up a team of 100 people in Pune within 3 months of time. So those are different challenges. So
Sure.
it's we also have complementary personalities. I think that we question each other, right? So
Hmm.
that's a very important thing.
Wonderful. I'll come to Sam. Sam, obviously, working in product companies, tech companies, you could have had a very comfortable growth journey. And you said comfort is not what you seek. So, very curious about this one. When you moved to UK, that switch, and how was it acclimatizing there in a new geography, but also the decision to turn entrepreneur by leaving, let's say, a very well traveled path of peers before you. What made you decide to let go of that comfortable route and choose entrepreneurship?
Yeah, great question. So I'll start with, as you see, as you have seen my journey, right, with all IT consulting firm, and then switch to a product company at later
Yeah.
stage of my career.
Yeah.
And from there, and it was a tremendous learning experience, right, from different horizon.
Hmm.
Consulting is a completely different culture, different way of dealing people, and the customer as well. Product, different stuff.
Yeah.
I was very comfortable with the product company, and I mean, you see ServiceNow now, right? I mean, it's one
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the great companies in the
Fantastic.
world.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Um, when it was at peak, I quit ServiceNow, and again driven by my passion to explore something new. So I joined another startup in UK as head of their product, building a data product. And it was also a very great learning experience because that was the first time I have decided to build something from the scratch as a product.
Hmm.
Unfortunate thing happened, which is COVID, right?
Hmm.
The company could not sustain during that time.
Hmm.
Unfortunate, and a lot of business got impacted during that time.
Sure.
So and on a subconscious mind, I have kept on questioning myself, working, can I solve a problem where my expertise of technology and data can actually help somebody else in the society. So that
Hmm.
was a time in during amidst of the COVID. I've explored few, problem statement which I have seen, you know, through some of my friends and families and their children who had been suffering from dyslexia and autism in UK,
Hmm.
and I have known their pains for long.
Hmm.
But I could see uh, the condition of their children during when the COVID started. So they
Hmm.
got completely, isolated from the mainstream, right? And the digital space were not well equipped to kind of give education or kind of a, consulting support to this segment. So
Hmm.
that's how, me along with one of my friends called Sanjeev Ghoshal, who was also in UK. So we started exploring how can we help this community. It's a I mean, if we talk about the disability worldwide, right? It's 10% and more is actually a disability sector, which is massive,
Hmm.
spectrum. And initially, I started with exploring technologies around deaf, dumb, and this kind of segment. Later I found, okay, if we have to do that something around that, it requires a lot of funding, right? It needs hardware and all other stuff. That's where we kind of explored the area of autism, dyslexia, and all, and thought, okay, so with technologies like AI,
Hmm.
augmented reality, virtual reality, can we build something which can improve the engagement span of this child, right? Which
Hmm.
who are kind of having the spectrum of autism and dyslexia. That's where my journey started. So it was not. It was kind of a tough situation, financially, because I kind of the company got collapsed during the COVID. and it was hard to find really good jobs during that time, because most of the companies froze their hiring that time, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
travel was banned. I couldn't travel back to India because it was a ban. So you think
Yeah.
about my situation. I have visa for maybe a month or so. I don't have any choice to go back to India, and I don't have a
Hmm.
job. That's how TuTeck started. So I decided to pursue as an entrepreneur. So I submitted this business idea to the government of UK, and through an endorsement body, they have provided me entrepreneurship visa. That's how I could stay back in UK, and started my
Wow.
journey as an entrepreneur, with a passion to serve the society, with a learning platform which is dedicated for children with special needs, right? So that's how the journey started.
Wonderful. And I mean, born out of complete adversity is what I understand.
Yeah,
And
it's a
very, sir, go ahead, Shamoda.
just a thing I will add. So listening to the journey, right? It has been a very difficult period for him, and at that point of time, to even think about having a startup and with such a নোবেল ভিশন, রাইট?
Hmm.
ময়দানে একটা খেলায় কথা আছে, হ্যাঁ, যখন
Hmm.
আমি জিজ্ঞেস করি বড় প্লেয়ারদের, এ কেন অনেক বেশি ট্যালেন্টেড মনে হতো, এ কেন যাচ্ছে, খাঁচাটা বড় হতে হয়। সো দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি মাচ
Hmm.
নিডেড। এটা কিন্তু মানে not too many people can do this, and I personally I couldn't do this. So when he told me that he's going to provide me with everything, a
Hmm.
platform, so I just kind of grabbed it. So I thought I'll just pitch in, because it's not an easy job which he has done.
Yeah.
Very
Absolutely.
difficult.
Absolutely. And I'll come to now more about TuTeck technologies to will deep dive. So it started with this learning platform, vision, and you built that. EdukkaSEN was born, and it got great, recognition. It got awarded. It was one of its kind thing. And then sort of moving forward with that to bring in more products and services, and now making TuTeck not just an edtech platform,
Exactly.
but making it go beyond that. So
Yeah.
how did this journey come about?
Okay, I think the real challenge for an entrepreneur, right? Quite a few things, right? Are we building the right product for the society, or solving a problem? Do we have the right market? Do we have fund to create and launch the product and market it, right? And these are
Yes.
all very related to for a success of any entrepreneurship journey. I had decided initially to go bootstrap, so all my savings and everything had been onto this venture, right? So,
Mm.
and that was a choice. I mean, I just made a conscious choice that I'll not go for
Mm.
initial investment. I mean, from external ventures, venture capitalist, and all. So when I saw this is a complex area to be in as a business, right? To have this product, monetize through its channel, and it will take organic time, and I have to give that time to the product. Then I have to survive, and I have to keep my team sustained, right? So that's where I thought, why not we expand our horizon beyond this product, and adding our core consulting and advisory practices. So that's how the additional segments of IT consulting got added to TuTeck as we went along. And so when we started with IT consulting, we initially, again, what worked for me is a relationship, and people who knew me for a long time, right? So they trusted and kind of gave us initial work to actually,
Mm.
which helped us generate the revenues, sustain the team, and to some extent scale.
Hmm.
But at some point, I realized, if we go with this pace, maybe it will take years after years to reach to the level we wanted to reach. And that's why
Hmm.
I realized that I have to probably expand the core leadership team. I reached out to my mentor, Shomoda, and few of my ex-colleagues who had been,
Hmm.
I know them personally, like Pratik was one of the, Pratik Banerjee. So he
Hmm.
used to run his own startup, before TuTeck. He was an ex-cognizant as well. So when I approached him, he was the first guy who joined Kolkata, started helping shaping up the the Kolkata office and the R&D center. And then Shomoda, I reached out to him. We kind of, I'm very fortunate that he joined the journey along with Dipto and then Partho. So and we are also looking for great leaders from our network and from the organizations we have worked for, and we see this journey probably will be fulfilling from all of them because we have laid down a very strong foundation.
Hmm.
Shomoda, if you
Shomoda,
want to, yeah.
how was your foray into, and you knew about EdukkaSEN as a product, but then obviously Sam was diversifying into other streams primarily to maintain a steady cash flow and keep the business sustainable. And I'm very curious because you have an ERP product, and you have a EdTech product as well. Uh, what is, I would say, and one thing, I mean, I don't know a lot about technology here, but I'm assuming all the expertise and experience of MDM came into the ERP product, building an ERP product as well. That seems a flow in itself. But if you can tell us a little bit about the strategic priorities that you started focusing on once you came on board.
Yeah. So after coming on board, right? So I had a clear plan in the sense that I'm a firm believer in relationships,
Hmm.
uh, right? So we have built relationships over years. So I kind of reached out to people who have been my leaders, my customers, and
Hmm.
people who reported to me, and they're doing great. So with that, and but I knew that we can only get a doorstep with that, right? I mean, knowing somebody for 15 years, he's a great guy, it can give you the first meeting, nothing
Yeah.
more, nothing less. So for that, you have to show value. So that's
Yeah.
the way we have built some of our solutions, some of our accelerators, and we have strengthened our capabilities. And we know from our experience about how to make an impact in these meetings, how to sell, right? And how to show that integrity that, these guys are committed people. And many of them didn't work because we were too small.
Hmm.
Okay. But that doesn't mean they will not work in the future.
Sure.
But if I would say 5 to 10% of that works, that
Yeah.
can be a huge number. And that is where we are today. Some of those relationships, I'm not talking about my relationships only, and our leadership team's relationships, right, have worked. And some will give you revenue, some will give you branding. Like with Informatica and Google, we have built a solution
Yeah.
which is a extremely esteemed solution, and Informatica is full in praise of that. But if you ask me, have you guys earned revenue for that? No. But with that, we
Hmm.
have got our branding, right? So it has to be, the strategy has to be like that. I mean, revenue focus has to be there, and operating in good margins, creating a healthy work atmosphere, but also investing in opportunities where you may not have revenue short term, but
Yeah.
longer term you can see that. And from a product or solution building experience, again, not all the I know that not all the products which we have built, all of them may not have a future. Obviously,
Hmm.
education will have. I'm 100% sure about that. And from my experience, like in Cognizant, also we have built solutions. I think if again 10 to 15 or 20% of the solution works, I think that would be great. So that's the way we are
Hmm.
looking at it, and we will continue to build solutions.
Hmm.
So this is a never ending process, honestly.
Yeah. And as technology changes, I think the demand for solutions also changes accordingly. Very curious to know that, Sam, you mentioned that you put in your savings into the company. You wanted to remain bootstrapped. You're still bootstrapped, but you're earning healthy revenues. What is the vision for? Are you ever going to go to institutional investors, or angel investors, or do you want to continue to build a bootstrapped company, bring profitability, and grow from there?
Well, I think we don't have plans to, go for funding in very near future, because I'll tell you the reason, right? So, at some point, we had really struggled financially, personally, since we had been bootstrapping, because the
Yeah,
market was slow, right? I'm talking about 2022, 23 kind of a period.
sure.
We lost quite a few customers, international customers, right, during that time. But we know that this was a phase, and it will go very soon. And we kind of re-strategize a lot of things, and Shomo, me, and leadership of other guys. So we kept on trying and building solutions and going back to the customers and with the people with whom we have built relationships, so for long. Happy to say, last 3 months had been tremendously, engaging with those kind of conversations, where we could really, crack those deals which are large in nature. So,
Hmm.
3 months, I would say, we have bagged deals like 5 years contract, 3 years contract, large annuity contracts as well, worth more than 10 million USD.
Wow.
So and we have got a huge pipeline which is much beyond than this, right? And that's why it doesn't really make immediate sense to go for a
Yes.
funding, since we know that organically
Yeah.
we have had crisis time, we have had challenges, but now we are back in track, and with all positivity, the future looks great for now. Not probably next 2 years probably will not be looking for any institutional funding. But having said that, we wanted to grow much bigger than what we are today. But in future, I mean, there could be a situation we'll go for funding as we go along, right? Nothing immediately.
Also wanted to ask one more question here. So today you have a mix of product and consulting offerings. Uh, Typically, and this will help our audiences as well. What are the typical kinds of customers you're working with, and what kind of solutions are they most depending on TuTeck for?
Yeah.
So, okay, so essentially, what we realized is, although our core capability is data, data and analytics, but from a customer standpoint, if we don't give that end-to-end digital journey to the customer,
Hmm.
we are not giving a holistic solution. So that's the specific reason. Our second key offering is digital engineering, which is about
Hmm.
building digital solutions. So now, if I have to talk about the large deals which we have got, right? So it has got a mix of both, and I'm not going to reveal a lot about that, but it's a
Sure.
central government Ministry of Statistics uh, deal which we have got for 5 years. So there, it's about digitally capturing the survey data and doing analytics on it. And similarly, so one thing about bigger companies, you would see verticals which are
Hmm.
like banking, life sciences,
Sure.
insurance, and then the horizontals,
Yeah.
the technology,
The
the
whole matrix
data
structure in
analytics,
large
CRM,
MNCs. Yeah.
ERPs, all of that, right? But to
Yeah.
me, a startup has to be horizontal based and own, because after that only, depending upon the nature of the business, you start shaping up your verticals. That's how
Industry
it,
specializations.
it happens.
Yeah.
Because you don't actually, if you ask me, from the relationships you guys had, did you know that which would mature? I would
Hmm.
say now, seeing the outcomes, no. I mean, the ones which were higher in my our priority list, some of the
Hmm.
lower ones have clicked. So how do I know in which vertical? So that's one. We're also
We're also
working with
working with
uh, investment
investment
management
management.
company in North America, where we are uh, becoming their primary vendors, where we are getting annuity deals and very interesting development programs, and it's a very difficult domain. So we have some experience on that, but we have to bring in people. And another strategy which we have taken is uh, We work with a North American partner, Powerfluence. Okay, so that is again a leadership team who were my seniors in Cognizant. They are all 60 plus. There's a gentleman
Hmm.
called Dilip Srinivasan, who was my mentor in Cognizant, right? So he is the CEO of the company. So we are collaborating together. So they are doing the sales and marketing, and we are doing the delivery. So these innovative
Okay.
models you will consistently.
Hmm.
And another example is we work with a UK based startup product company, right? Sam, and I had not joined there. So
Hmm.
what Sam told them that we are going to help you build your product. So these things happen. You have to try quite a few things, and you don't know that which one will mature. To be very
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. 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 uh, and this actually gives a great picture of how how the journey started, how it's going. We're also getting interest from people who are expressing interest, saying if there is you're looking out for project managers, there are people interested, and I'll come to the talent part of it, which is a nice segue. uh, Historically, there has been this narrative, and I know, Shomoda, you said that you had made up your mind very early that Kolkata is where your ground zero will always
Absolutely.
be. But there has been a always a complaint of sorts that in Kolkata, companies are reluctant to grow or expand because of two things. One is the lack of available talent, lack of good talent, and the second one is work culture. These are typically two things we've always heard. Uh, Having based your R&D center in Kolkata, and it's a vibrant office. We saw in Rohit, and I want to give a shout out to Rohit Shaw, who's doing fantastic work. And he did a wonderful video about TuTeck technology. Brilliant, vibrant office. A great bunch of young folks working with experience from the leadership. Uh, what has been your experience? Do you agree with this narrative that I just talked about? What has been your experience having this R&D center in Kolkata? And Shomada, also from your experience of having worked in Kolkata throughout, uh, what are your both takes on this, the talent market?
Okay, so I would be a little bullish here. Okay, so that Kolkata, if somebody says that Kolkata doesn't have talent, I
Hmm.
think if people are saying that, it is somehow, some myths get created. It's not. And if you look at the companies which are in large companies which have been in Kolkata,
Yeah.
I'll take the example of Cognizant, right? Huge uh, numbers we had in Cognizant, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was one of the most important centers of the company. And my teams have been distributed across. I mean, it's just that, and the way these companies operate, the location which you are working for, it's just a location, right? So my
Yeah.
teams, my direct reports, only one of them used to sit in Kolkata. But at the
Hmm.
same time, my teams were distributed. So we never had this kind of a feeling, at least in Cognizant, where other leaders who wanted to expand in Kolkata, right, said they took my help, that helped me, who were from different practices. And similarly, when I wanted to build teams in other locations, I approached leaders from those locations that helped me in building this team. So I've never found that. And about the work culture, I mean, I can only talk on behalf of the industry I worked in, right? I cannot give
Hmm.
you a holistic picture. There's nothing. The cultures in these companies are top driven. Okay, it doesn't matter from where you are coming from, but yeah, I mean, you will have difference because Bengalis by nature, they are emotional people, right? They are very
Hmm.
passionate people. So
Hmm.
if you have a Bengali reportee, he will come up with creative ideas, but he'll also trouble you. Okay.
Hmm.
So the sense is because they're emotional people, right? But if you have people working from the southern part of India, and I have huge respect because many of my leaders have been from there. So there, the discipline and culture is very. I'm not saying it's the people, the work culture in Kolkata is bad. It's just in different regions you would have different people. And being
Sure.
inclusive leadership, you will have to bring the best out of the diversities, right? And
Sure.
we did the same thing for countries in Southern Europe when we included
Hmm.
them, right? So I see that as
They have
no
a
different.
different way of working. They have different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So everybody will have their different ways. It is up to the leadership to
yeah.
align them and embrace them. Embracing and being inclusive is very important, and
Yeah.
that is, I think, in any facet of life.
I think very important thing you said, Shomoda, is that work culture is also sort of a byproduct or offshoot of the local culture, right? The overall culture influences
Hmm.
what the work
Hmm.
culture is. So it's not that work culture in isolation it
Hmm.
grows out of a vacuum. It is overall, the demographic, the culture of the region that influences
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Uh, Sam, your thoughts on and you've worked across cities, geographies,
Yeah,
countries.
and I kind of second Somo, right? Because I have seen and worked closely with various kind of people, and being there on different geographies, right? And having working in so different geographies, I never hesitated to actually set up my R&D center in Kolkata because I know the talent is there. I mean,
Hmm.
and if you look at the young talent which is coming out from the colleges of West Bengal, right? I mean, I'm really impressed with the kind of skills. Even they're coming out of college, 2 3 internship done, and they know few languages. They know probably in a good amount of basics of the SDLC life cycle. They can code faster. Honestly, when I got graduated, I was not that smart. I probably had not gone into that
Hmm.
depth. So this next generation which are coming out is
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. And we have seen, because we have been conducting mega walk-ins, drives, and Shomu can talk more about that, because the quality which is coming up, right, is brilliant. Shomu, you can add there because you have
Yeah,
been close
yeah. So
driving.
we recently conducted an off-campus, right? So
Hmm.
essentially, I was really, really amazed to see, and we were speaking about AI, machine
Yeah.
learning, Gen AI, and one of the questions which I always ask is what project you have done as part of your curriculum, right? And what is the business purpose the project is serving, or social purpose, right? So
Hmm.
I was amazed to see the ideas and the projects being done in AIML. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 70 to 80% of the people have done
Hmm.
that, and possibly it's not there in their curriculum also. So they have,
Hmm.
in their own interest,
Yes.
picked up things and have tried to build things which are making sense. And even 1 or 2% of those guys have gone to the extent of monetizing. Maybe they have not yet been successful. That's not important. But that
Sure.
idea is also there, so which is great to see actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, Shomoda, Sam, we were talking about this a little before the podcast. There is definitely a gap between the industry readiness of academic curriculum, because the the way how fast technology is changing, it is very difficult for universities and colleges to overhaul their syllabus and bring in new courses and find the new faculty. So a lot of the young talent that you talked about, they are on a self-service mode. They are finding different courses, MOOCs, online coaching, whatever they are, and they have the access to resources through this fantastic internet revolution that we are living
Yeah.
in, and they are very, very self-driven to get these skills. When you are bringing in talent, and this is more focused on TuTeck now, what kind of skill sets are you typically looking at hiring for? And if you can tell a little more about what kind of attitude, because you mentioned, sometimes mentoring. Sam has been your mentee, but coming with a lot of creative ideas. Uh, but what kind of skills and attitudes are you looking at when you hire at TuTeck now, that you are in Kolkata?
Okay. So essentially, hiring will also have a connection with the demand which we are having,
Business, sure, yes.
right? But generally, obviously, we are looking for people, like, as I said, right? Uh, People who have experimented with AIML. We are definitely looking
Okay.
for them. uh, people who have built digital applications, and that would still be a higher percentage. Okay, that's understandable. So we do have needs for them, and from an attitude perspective, obviously, uh, you possibly get a sense about the people who will be having positive attitude. But when I'm going for a off-campus drive, I'm going with an objective. I have to find at least three people who I can see that will become good testers in future. Because nobody from a college graduate will tell you that I'm doing
I want to
testing.
be a tester.
Then how do I build my testing pool, right? So that I can only see from the attitude. That people asking questions and seeing that if somebody can break things, has that attitude to break things, right? Because nobody will have a testing background, but you have to testing is
Yeah.
such an important part, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so
And I know it is still fresh, and it's still, culture, as you I earlier said, is top down, is always top down. How are you seeing the culture at TuTeck develop? And if you can share a little bit about the culture within the R&D center in Kolkata.
So, I mean, I can add here also. I mean, I think two, three important things, right? One is, are you passionate about learning, continuous learning, passionate about learning new things, right? Uh, Very important. Are you innovating in doing the same thing in five different ways, right? To, I mean, that will do, obviously optimize your operational efficiency in future. You will have better performing job. You will have, a delivery quality, which will be great in if you optimize your operational stuff through innovations. And third is, communication and value driven attitude, right? So how you're communicating with your client and convincing that whatever we are doing is actually value for them, value for the customer. I mean, if we build some product or some solution which we feel is valuable but not really valuable for the customer, I mean, it's a waste on effort and money and everything, right? So value-driven attitudes, these three I can say should be a culture forward. I mean, Shuma, you can add more if you want.
no, absolutely. And another thing which we are conscious of is to keep this organization very flat structured, so that
Yeah.
people don't have to spend a lot of time navigating through uh, hierarchical things, right? So we are trying to do that with a very
Yeah.
conscious effort.
One aspect, and maybe this is a small digression, Shomoda. Today, I don't know how the current talent market looks at their job, but at least, we who sort of are a little bit of a predecessor to the current one, right? 10, 15 years of work ex. For us, it was very important. What is our designation? When are we getting the next promotion, right? I have spent 1 year in this role. Now when is my next promotion due? So keeping a flat structure, obviously in startups you want to create a flat structure because of agility and rapid delivery. But would that be a challenge, do you see, where people don't get the at least the level jump or the designation change very very frequently?
Okay, let me just explain what I meant by flat structure is
Okay.
like, the protocols that you can only
Okay.
approach your supervisor. So
Okay.
that kind of hierarchy climbing, because
Okay.
anybody can ping Sam and talk to him, and his
Open culture.
supervisor is not
Yeah.
mine. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So obviously, people aspirations will be there. So we'll have to take care of that, right? So
Sure.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Shomoda, Sam, I'll now come to our last segment. I know I had promised 1 hour, and apologize for managing the time a little inefficiently here. But I come to my last segment, which we typically ask our guests. And both of you have a tremendous love for Kolkata, which was very evident. The city has seen many things, outflow of talent. Post COVID, we have also seen some, influx back as well. Things are happening, technology wise, infrastructure wise. A lot of stuff is happening. Being entrepreneurs and business leaders in a tech sector running a startup, what is your current stand on the future vision towards the city? The good, the bad, the ugly. What do you think is working well? What do you think needs to change? If we can have some candid, you both have been very transparent and candid about your respective journeys, the struggles, the growth in adversity. What are your respective takes on the city?
Okay. So essentially, obviously, our views would be limited to the industry which we are working, right?
Sure.
So essentially, if you look at uh, in 2006, 2007, 2008, there was a huge, many IT companies came to Kolkata, and then we were actually seeing reverse brain drain happening. So for
Hmm.
whatever reasons, that got stopped. But if you look at the last 2, 3 years,
Yes.
especially from COVID times, so many companies have come, so many companies, right? You talk about LTI, Mindtree, you talk
Infosys.
about Persistent Systems,
Infosys.
Infosys, yeah, that's the
Yes.
biggest thing, right? And many others have come. So I think the floodgates have opened, and the
Yeah.
talent. I don't think we will. The talent which was migrating to other states, right? That's going to stop, and you will see the reverse happening, which was happening a few years back as well. But now again, it's so I'm seeing it with a lot of positivity.
Sam, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I echo what Somo said, and to be honest, we as a company will be more focused on growing in Kolkata as a segment. Having said that, we know the talent. There is no scarcity of talent pool in Kolkata, right? And we know people from Kolkata and West Bengal are working and leading many large enterprises across the globe, and many
Yes.
of them. I mean, we used to hear that a lot earlier times, right? There is not much of a company in Kolkata, so we are not able to go back where we wanted to go back. So now I think things are changing, right? There are opportunities and lot more opportunities coming out. I know a lot of my ex-colleagues, friends are now coming back, joining Infosys, LTI Mindtree from Bangalore, Gurgaon, Hyderabad, and everywhere else. So they are coming back to the city, and all of them are promoting a great culture and the future of the city, and which is really positive, to me. And we do have plans to grow, up to we can see 150 to 200 headcounts in Kolkata by 2020-25, and we are very confident that we will be achieving that very soon, right? So I mean, all positive for Kolkata, and we hope that we'll be climbing high, even higher in coming years and years.
Wonderful. No, thank you so much, both Sam and Shomoda, for sharing your journeys, and obviously more about TuTeck and your vision for Kolkata. I think it's extremely encouraging for us, for a page like us who are sort of trying to portray the positive narrative of Kolkata. There's been a lot of negativity for many years. Our little bit that we are trying to do is just change that perception towards a little more positive, so that
Yeah.
uh, you know people do come back to their homes, their friends, family, and also find meaningful employment where they don't feel they have to compromise by moving back to Kolkata. That's our intent. And wonderful to see Shomoda, you being a hardcore Kolkata on the Kolkata team, and Sam opening the centers in Kolkata. Bold move. Hope this journey of growth continues for TuTeck. From all our viewers and listeners, we would want to wish both of you and the entire leadership team and the entire TuTeck team many congratulations on the journey so far, and all the best for the future ahead. May you continue to shine and grow and make our city proud. Before I close the live stream, Sam, Shomoda, any parting words?
I mean, first of all, thank you for having us here, and you are doing a phenomenal job by promoting this entrepreneurial and the storytelling, basically, for Kolkata, and bringing more and more attention to the city. And congratulations for
Thank
successfully
you.
doing that for so many years. Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, same here. I mean, you guys are doing a great job, and it was such an engaging discussion. I mean, I didn't realize that, and I think I spoke a lot more. Okay. You should have stopped me. But it was fantastic experience. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Shomoda. Thank you, Sam.
Okay,
Have a
Shubham.
great Sunday, and all the best to
Yeah.
TuTeck team. We'll be, following your journey closely, sharing all the good news with our community as well. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody for listening to us live. Please do,
Thank you, everyone.
as the saying goes, like, comment, subscribe, and that's it. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank you.
day.